How's it going, Luke?
What's up?
Seems like you're pretty much just progressing quarter by quarter, getting better and better. Just what do you feel you still need to work on as you go forward through the season?
I think the biggest thing for me is just knowing when to extend plays with my legs. I think I've reached a point where I've got a lot of confidence in my foot again, and just my ability to run the ball and extend plays. The way I was able to at the end of last year. I think that's something that I definitely could continue to work on and just continue to be more confident in.
When you're throwing a deep ball, and obviously there are different routes that are deep balls, do you have certain techniques or things you need to think about when you're doing it, or is it just stepping back there and throwing it as hard and as far as you can?
Yeah, I think it is. We work a lot of it on Wednesdays. Whenever we do one-on-ones, just working those different techniques as far as receivers and on our end as quarterbacks. So I think it's just being in the right place with the receivers, just kind of being on the same page as to what they're doing, and being able to just sit back there and deliver a good ball.
Luke, what have you seen so far this week out of the Tennessee defense?
They play hard and they play fast. They're pretty physical up front, and they're going to bring all 11 guys to the ball. So we got to be ready. Up front, we got to be ready to deliver strikes. It's not only in the pass game but in the run game as well. We got to be able to establish that early, and I think we're going to.
Luke, how often do you walk around the facility barefoot?
Probably more than I should.
Okay, fair enough. In reviewing the film from the Troy game, it seems like the offense at times kind of stalled once it crossed midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a common theme there, or is it just about guys executing when they get into those positions?
Yeah, I think it's execution for sure, but I think it's more just about our communication. I think whenever we did cross the 50, I think there was maybe 2 or 3 of those drives. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot with penalties and lost yardage plays. So that's on us as an offense. The play calls are there and they're good, but it's on us to execute. So that's a big point of emphasis this week. Is just whenever we do get into those positions, having elite communication up front. Out wide at receiver and tight end, and then making sure that we execute those things and put ourselves in a position to score.
Luke, good, bad, and different. Like, how much can you guys block out what's going on outside? Whether it's positive, negative, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I know some guys turn off social media for the season. I know maybe some coaches mandate that.
Mm-hmm.
How much can you guys actually, truly just let it roll off your back, not see it?
Yeah.
Is it just a process of, if you see it, it's whatever, and you sort of move on with it?
Yeah. Well, I can't attest to, some other guys. I know some of them, don't get on social media and look at that kind of stuff. And I'm one of those guys. I try to stay off Twitter. I stay off Instagram as much as I can, because, like you said, it's all just outside noise. I know, like I said, some guys turn it off, some guys look at it, and then, that's okay too. But I think the biggest thing for us is just only we know what's going on inside of this building. Only the coaches know what's going on. So I think it's just about, really just the biggest thing is tuning out all that outside noise, and focusing on, what we have inside this building, as far as the players and coaches go, because at the end of the day, it's about us.
EJ was saying that you have such a positive energy and that you are always positive no matter what's happening, and you are an amazing leader for this team. How long have you been that way? Where did that mindset come from for you, and why is that a mindset you felt was the best for you and for the team?
Yeah. I think I've always been that way, since I started playing sports, just having a positive mindset and outlook on things. I feel like it's contagious, and if he's saying that, it is. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that those guys are responding to it well. But that's something that I try to carry, each and every day, no matter what we're doing. Just going out there with a positive mindset, it can change, the course of the practice, it can change the course of the meeting, walk through whatever it is that we're doing, because it is contagious. And it's something that I take pride in. I try to keep in a level head, no matter what's going on. Don't get too high, don't get too low. So I feel like I've always been that way, and, I'm not going to change.
Thank you.
Well, going back to a comment you just made, only you guys know what's going on in this building. So I'm going to ask you this, because the offensive line, maybe some people on the outside, they look at it, they want to throw them under the bus. I mean, this is an offensive line that helped Kevin lead the SEC in rushing last year. As a quarterback, and from your perspective of what's going on from inside the building, what do you think have been some of the issues of why the offensive line just haven't been able to be in sync so far this season?
Yeah. Well, I think first things first, I can't be more proud of those guys. And, I trust those guys with everything. Eric does a really great job of making the calls and, relaying them back to us. And just that entire front five, guys that are being subbed in, like Jazz and Jakai, they rotate on the left side. They're all a great group of guys, and they fight their asses off every single Saturday. And there are, I think the only thing that only problems that we've had is just the communication portion of it. One side doing one thing, the other side doing another. But that all comes down to, like I said, the communication part of it, and that's something that we continue to work on. Each and every day, just making sure everybody's on the same page. Me included. Some of that is on me, holding the ball too long, or maybe not getting it out quick enough. So it's not just those kind of little things aren't just on them. It's on us as an offense as well. So.
Luke, what is Parker White's personality like, and can a kicker be a leader on a football team or not?
I think he is one of the best leaders we have, and he's more of a silent leader. You don't really hear him too often, but when he steps out onto the field, he kind of commands the attention of everyone, and that's the kind of thing you like to see, especially out of a guy like that. And in the specialist room, he's a guy that I think they all look up to, and a lot of guys on those specialty teams look up to, because he is a guy that goes out there and does whatever he has to do to win. And you can see that on Saturdays just in the way that he goes out there and kind of nonchalantly just, wins the game for us, in a few situations like Troy this past weekend and then ECU the couple weekends before. So.
You say you try to stay off social media. Is that something that you encourage other guys to do as well? And also as a young quarterback, and when it comes to leadership, have you relied on guys like Zeb and Connor Shaw picking their brains on how to be a more effective leader?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the social media question, I think, in the spring, I know me and Nick Muse, we got off of social media for about 6 months. And that's something that we encouraged a couple other guys to do, and they did for a little while. And I know, like I said, a bunch of them are still kind of staying off of it or not getting on it as much. So I think that is something that, we kind of emphasize and just kind of put it off to the side for a little while and focus on what's important now. As far as the leadership question, I definitely look up to Zeb. I look up to Connor Shaw. Those are two guys. Obviously Connor Shaw is the greatest quarterback to ever play here, and just to have him in my corner and in our corner as a team, that's something that we've all relied on. He's a great person to talk to, go get advice from, whether it be about football or life. As far as Zeb goes, he's one of my best friends. I probably hang out with him more than anyone else. Just spending time in the film room with him. We went and got dinner last night at Groucho's. Just doing little things like that because, he's another guy that, you can kind of talk about anything with, whether it be football or life, because he's been around for a long time and he's seen a lot of things, especially on the football field. So he's a guy that, I'm so appreciative of to, have by my side, especially out there on the field.
E.J. Jenkins was talking about his growth and development as far as just learning tight end, playing multiple positions, and playing with more urgency. Obviously, caught his first touchdown as a Gamecock.
Yep.
Just what have you seen as far as his growth over the last few months, and just how important of a piece could he be for this offense, given just how unique he is as a player and his size?
Yeah, I mean he's a guy that from the time that he got here, he's just put his head down and he's worked, and he's done everything that we've asked him to do. From an offensive standpoint, whether it be, hey, go play tight end and block this end, or, line up out wide and go catch a jump ball. those are some of the things that he's able to do, and he's able to do a lot. So I definitely think we're just going to continue to find ways to get him in there and just utilize his size, his ability, and just allow him to go make plays and let him play fast, because he is one hell of a playmaker for us.